A patient campaigner said people are being treated worse than animals in overcrowded hospital out-of-hours units, amid warnings from emergency medics that Scotland's NHS does not have enough beds to cope with winter pressures. Catherine Hughes, 51, from Renfrew, waited more than 8 hours to see a GP at the Royal Alexandra Hospital in Paisley after suffering shooting pains in her back and legs during a trip to Glasgow that made it difficult for her to stand. A pharmacist advised her to contact NHS 24, who in turn said she should attend the nearest out-of-hours GP service. The Queen Elizabeth University Hospital, Gartnavel Hospital and Easterhouse-based services were all closed due to staff shortages, so Ms Hughes, who had to give up working as a nurse due to a number of chronic health conditions, paid for a taxi to the RA. She arrived, along with her 76-year-old mother Anne, shortly before 9 p.m. for what she describes as a horrendous ordeal. She said, "There was no water or food available. There were no vending machines in the out-of-hours area where you could even get a cup of tea. There weren't enough seats so people were standing or lying on the floor. The department was freezing because of a broken door that was letting cold air in. You wouldn't be allowed to treat animals like that. There were children and very young babies waiting to be seen. One baby wasn't even a week old. There was only one doctor on duty and everyone was getting irate with her. She was due to finish at midnight but stayed on an extra hour until they managed to get a second doctor to come in at 1 a.m., when they closed the department to new patients. Some patients were shipped off to the Victoria Hospital in Glasgow, but I think some just went to A&E or gave up and went home. I waited more than 8 hours. I've got no issue with the care I received. The doctor was lovely and she was doing her best. But she said that would be last shift she would be doing for out of hours, as seemingly the week before had been even worse. The week previously she said that she'd been totally on her own and hadn't even had a nurse to be able to help triage patients safely. She said her friend, who was working in the Victoria out-of-hours service, had been on the phone crying before her shift as she didn't want to go to her work. Ms Hughes, who previously campaigned against the closure of inpatient beds at Glasgow Centre for Integrative Care, said she was so exhausted when she finally arrived home at 5:30 a.m. on November 11, her 51st birthday, that she slept for the rest of the day. She added that both her mother and herself have since fallen ill with respiratory infections which she believes they picked up from other sick patients during their wait in the out-of-hours unit. It comes nearly a year after a similar delay in Vol. For more on this story, visit the news article link.